Thank you so much for joining. Let's start today's class by coming down into a constructive rest. We'll come all the way down onto the back. The feet could be hip distance apart, maybe the knees a little wider. You could bring the knees to come to touch. You could take the feet a little wider. You can let the hands rest on the body or alongside the body, palms up or down. Tuck your chin just slightly, allowing the neck to lengthen. And if laying flat on your back doesn't feel great, it could be a great option to come into a fetal position or even take that beach chair where we bring blocks and a bolster behind our back. But as we settle into whatever reclining position of our choice, maybe we allow our eyes to close, or maybe we simply soften our gaze, letting our eyelids grow heavy, our vision to blur, as we release our visual focus. We'll allow our breathing to become intentional, lengthening our inhale, extending our exhales, letting it have a natural rhythm, letting it feel easy. As we come into this moment, we'll check in with our bodies. We'll begin to notice any sensations, any energies, any aches or pains. Maybe we're feeling anxious or tired. Taking our awareness onto those feelings or emotions. And then seeing if we can neatly put them in a box and set them to the side, containing all that stuff for later. Letting us come simply into this space with just our breath and our bodies. We continue to breathe and focus on our breathing here. Let's start to come into a deep listening breath. That deep listening breath will continue to breathe in and out intentionally. But at the top of our inhale, we'll pause, holding the air in. Maybe we hold it in for a count of 10 if you like to count your breath. Or maybe you simply hold it in for as long as it comfortably feels good to retain the air at the top of the breath. And then before it starts to feel uncomfortable, slowly continue your exhale out. We'll continue this deep listening breath for our grounding meditation. Breathing in, taking the extended pause, exhaling before it becomes uncomfortable, slow and steady, and repeating the process. Offering ourselves a moment of stillness, maybe a moment of patience. Today we're going to talk about having patience, not only with ourselves, with our bodies, with our breath, with our minds and emotions, but also having patience with others, or even the situations in our lives. We can learn to be patient with ourselves and others. Of course, it's very natural to want others, humans, other beings, other situations, to act or behave or happen in a certain way, or say a certain thing. But we need to remember that we cannot control really anything, but especially not other people or situations where other people are involved. This is a lesson I'm reminded of often, especially when it comes to things I care about or people I love. And I found that I suffer when I expect someone to show up in a certain way. When I want them to text or call or spend time with me in the way that I want and on my timeline. It only brings suffering. Because the world doesn't work that way. Love and caring don't work that way. And patience is needed. We can look at waiting as a beautiful thing when we bring mindfulness into it. So as we take a few more of those deep listening breaths, letting that silence be the pause, maybe sense where in your life you've been feeling urgency for another to show up in a certain way, or a situation to be a certain way. And as you think of that urgency, notice how it feels in your body. And then with each breath, with each exhale, start to invite in patience. Go ahead and allow our breathing to start to find its natural rhythm. We'll take a moment to offer ourselves a little bit of gratitude that we took time to slow things down, to meet ourselves here in this space. Not only maybe a little bit of gratitude, but also patience. Offering ourselves patience in our breath, in our movement, and in our mental and emotional being throughout our practice. And then as you're ready, begin to wiggle fingers and toes. Maybe flutter the eyes open, maybe take a stretch of any sort that you'd like. And we'll find our way into a seated position, maybe crisscross applesauce, or maybe seated up on a block or a pillow. You could also send your legs out long or keep a bend in the knees. Lengthening up through our spines. Let's go ahead and bring our hands to a prayer at heart center. Pull your shoulders back, the top of your head up. And then with an exhale, drop your chin to your chest and start to let your chin come down as much as feels good so that you can open up through the back of the neck. With our next inhale, we'll begin to drop the elbows towards each other. Now they can come to touch, or there could be some space in between them, making space for our bodies as we drop those elbows down. Allow the fingertips maybe to come up and allow that to guide your chin up, lifting your gaze up towards the ceiling. Lengthening through the back of the neck or front of the neck this time. And then we'll start to find a little bit of fluid movement for about 3 to 5 breaths, allowing the hands to come out to prayer, the elbows to widen left and right, chin comes down to chest. And then on your inhale, taking it up, elbows down. Take it at your own. Excuse me. All right, with our next exhale, bring hands to prayer at heart center. Maybe close your eyes for just a moment. Set an intention for today's practice, maybe around patience, or maybe around something else. Exhale, releasing hands to the legs. We'll lengthen the arms and then we'll start to round the spine back, dropping chin towards our chest and ears in between shoulders. And then inhale, drawing the heart forward, the chin up. Move between cat and cow, letting your spine feel the fluid movement. Tuck the tailbone and then roll it forward. The next time your heart pulls forward, pause at the top, holding for that deep listening pause. Slow exhale back, holding for an extended pause. Beautiful job. Let's exhale and come back to a straight spine. And then take a few shoulder circles, letting your shoulders move in unison. Forward about 3 times, and then back about 3 times. All right, go ahead and pause here. Send the arms out wide to a T, palms down. Take the right hand under the left hand. Go ahead and hug up against opposite arms. Feel free to walk those fingertips along the arms or shoulders as it feels good. And then no, we're not going to go to eagle arms. We're going to pause here. With our inhale, go ahead and start lifting the chin and lifting the elbows away from the torso, taking it into our back bend. Exhale to drop chin to chest, round elbows to belly. Take that a few cycles at your own pace. Exhale to release. Arms wide to a T. Take it in the opposite direction. So left hand on top or switch it up. Or sorry, left hand on bottom or switch it up. And then same thing. Exhale, drop chin to chest, round through the spine, elbows towards belly. Inhale, lifting elbows away, curling through the spine, chin lifts up. Take it at your own pace. Maybe connecting with your intention, whatever that happened to be. one. Exhale to release elbows, release hands by your sides. Now let's come on over onto hands and knees. We'll only be here for a moment, so no need to pad the knees. We'll just be here for a few cat-cows. Maybe 2 or 3. You can exaggerate them or add any movement that feels good for you. And then when you're ready, we're going to start to make our way to downward facing dog. Lifting the knees, tucking the toes, shifting the weight left to right, pressing into the palms. Allow yourself to feel this movement throughout your body. And then maybe walk your dog, pedaling through the heels, shifting weight left to right. Find a little bit of stillness. Look up between your hands. And then with the patience in mind, try to take as slow and baby steps as you can as you come to a forward fold. Hands resting on your legs, the floor, or prop of your choice, as the top of your head reaches down towards the floor. We'll pause here for just a moment with knees bent, grabbing opposite elbows, and let's take a ragdoll, swaying from side to side. Bending knees, moving hips, jaw, even neck. And eventually finding some stillness. Press into your hands, halfway lift, figure 7. Exhale to release. Bend the knees, sink the hips, slow roll up to mountain pose. We come into mountain pose, hands resting by our sides. Inhale, circling tall mountain, reach them up. We'll circle the right hand with the left fingertips and then lean over to the left. Inhale through center. Release the grip and switch it. Lean to the right. Inhale through center. We're going to bring our hands into a prayer, slice through the air as we hinge into our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, this time taking airplane arms, hands by the sides, palms face down, pinkies squeezing towards each other. Exhale, hinge and forward fold. Pausing here, we're going to cross the right foot in front of the left foot. The toes can touch, or you can have as much space as feels comfortable for you, forward, back, left, or right. And then go ahead and take your hands, or maybe your prop, over to the left side of the room. And then walk them through center to the opposite side. Exhale through center. Switch your cross, back leg comes front. Take it to the left. Twist it through center to the right. Exhale through center. Pausing here. Inhale, airplane arms, halfway lift. A little bit of a balance challenge here. Great job. Exhale, hinge and fold. Uncross the legs. Inhale, mountain pose. Stepping the left foot back about a foot, coming up onto the ball of the foot, engaging that muscle. Inhale, circle arms up and overhead. Circling the left wrist with the right fingertips, lean to the right. Inhale back through center. Step the left foot back. Right foot steps back now. Inhale up. Circle right wrist. Lean to the left. Inhale back through center. Exhale, slice your prayer all the way down. Forward fold. Airplane halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Now bend the knees so deeply that you can plant the hands on the floor. And then let's step back for a plank or a half plank. You can keep the knees lifted, or you can drop the knees and lift the toes. But wherever you're at, keep the core engaged. The wrists are in line with the shoulders. The spine is straight. From the point touching the toe floor, whether it's the toes or the knees, all the way to the top of the head. We're going to hold for just another breath. And then on your exhale, lower down to the mat. Flip to the tops of the feet. Hands slide under shoulders. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale to release. Let's take a couple of rolling cobras, taking it at your own pace. Inhaling to come up, exhaling to go down. You're welcome to come up as high or as low as feels good in your spine as you explore this movement. Great job. Last time. Exhale to release. Plant the palms, tuck the toes. Find your way to downward dog. Maybe coming through plank, maybe coming through tabletop. Finding your downward dog. Settling in. Now go ahead and start to allow your left heel to really pull down towards the ground, extending through the back of the calf. And with our next inhale, lift that right foot off the ground for three-legged dog. Bend the knee, stack the hips, and then start to look out under the arm. Great job. Send that leg long again, three-legged dog. Inhale, start to draw your knee towards your nose. And then let's step it through for a low lunge. Go ahead and drop that back knee. Add cushioning if you want, rolling up your mat or adding maybe another pillow or blanket under that back knee. Draw the hips forward. Maybe the hands stay low. Maybe they walk up to the knee. Or maybe you explore bringing them to a prayer. Or even lifting the hands up high alongside the ears in a crescent lunge. Be mindful to be pulling your thigh muscles together, engaging your core. You're doing great. Their next exhale, let's maybe find a cactus of the arms as we sink into the hips just a little bit deeper. And then with an inhale, bring your hands to a prayer at heart center. Inhale, lengthen the leg, come out of the hips, lifting the arms to their lifted position. And then start to find a little flow here. As arms lift, lift out of the hips. As arms lower, sink into the lunge. You're doing great. Make sure to be listening to your body as you make these movements. Last cycle. We'll end in our crescent lunge. Exhale. Drop the hands inside that front leg, either to the floor or to a prop. Sink the hips down for a lizard lunge, letting that knee fall out to the side if you'd like a little bit. And then we're going to take it into a twist. So we'll leave the opposite hand on the floor and then twist the same hand as that front knee back behind you. Great job. Exhale. Go ahead and bring your hands to frame that front foot and then take it into a half splits, lengthening that front leg, taking the hips back, lengthening the spine, and then as you're ready, hinging and forward folding over that front leg. Great job. Inhale to roll through to your low lunge. Plant the palms. Take the front knee back to tabletop. We'll switch sides. Come into our crescent lunge. So we'll set up here again. Feel free to cushion that knee. Sink the hips forward. Maybe start to lift the hands to any position that feels supported for you. Even if that means holding on to something, you're doing great. And then we'll start to find our deepening flow. Exhale, cactus the arms, sink the hips just a little bit forward. Bring hands to a prayer. Inhale, arms lengthen, come out of the deepness of the legs. And then take it at your own pace. Feel free to hold where you want to hold, or find fluid movement throughout the pose. Take it as deep or as shallow as you'd like. You're doing great. Okay, last time on this side. Finishing your flow in crescent lunge. Exhale. Drop the hands inside the foot. Start to walk the foot maybe out to the side, but let the knee start to find that lizard lunge. Sink the hips down. Opposite hand stays on the mat. Twist your lizard lunge. Exhale to release. Frame the foot. Half splits. Lengthen on your exhale, sink it in. Beautiful job. Go ahead and roll back through your low lunge. Send it back to your tabletop. Inhale, pull your heart forward, plank or half plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra of your choice. Exhale, find your way to downward facing dog. Great job. From here, inhale, three-legged dog, opposite leg. So we did the right leg the first time, so this time it would be the left side. Inhale, bend the knee, open the hip, look out under the arm. Beautiful job. Take it back, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Step it through, low lunge, drop that back knee. Again, feel free to add cushioning if you'd like. Inhale, crescent lunge. We're only going to take it through one time, exhaling, deepening it, cactus arms. Prayer hands. Inhale, come out as you lift hands up. Exhale, lizard lunge. Inhale, twist. This time, pause here. Take that top hand, point it back towards your extended leg, or maybe bend the knee of the back leg, pointing the toes, or capturing it with your hand if that's available. Exhale to release. Inhale, half runner's lunge. Exhale to sink it in. Inhale, roll through to crescent lunge. Airplane arms. Pausing here. Great job. Let the arms come down. Step it back. Tabletop. Let's take that sequence on the other side. Stepping up, second side. Sink it in. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, take it through the flow one time, deepening on the cactus arms. Inhaling prayer, lifting out. Exhale. Lizard lunge. Twist it. And again, staying here, maybe pointing the back toes, reaching towards that back foot. Exhale to release. Come through your half runner's lunge. Beautiful job. Roll it back through your low lunge. Plant the palms. Tabletop. Inhale, plank or half plank. Holding for 3. For 2. On 1, we lower to the mat. Inhale, we're going to take a airplane arms with the hands. And then just like our cobra, we start to lift our forehead and shoulders. Maybe airplane arms, squeeze pinkies in. And feel free to lift those feet if you'd like to as well for a locust pose. Great job. Exhale to release. Inhale, slide hands under shoulders. Press back into a child's pose, knees wide. Forehead coming towards the floor, maybe a prop. Extend the arms long as you sink the hips back. Feel free to add props wherever you'd like here. As we take 3 of those deep listening breaths from this position. We notice ourselves starting to let our minds wander or feel frustrated or any other emotions. Maybe coming back to that intention, coming back to patience with yourself, your breath. So easy to want to just move from position to position, from pose to pose, without allowing yourself just a moment of waiting, of breathing, giving yourself grace, giving those around you grace, giving the situations you find yourself in grace. And allow the waiting to be beautiful and to teach you just as much as the movement does. We'll finish this last deep listening breath. And then as you're ready, find your way into downward facing dog. Taking your time, moving however your body wants to move to get there. Once you arrive, moving your body however your body wants to move once you're there. Even if that just means stillness in this moment. We'll take one deep breath here, and with an exhale, let out a sigh or an audible sound. And then see if your stroll to the top of the mat can be even slower, more meandering than your first time through. Can you luxuriate as you move slowly through your limbs to find your forward fold? Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, tall mountain. Step the left foot back. If you want, you could even cross it this time, if that feels good in your body. Exhale, lean to the right. Inhale to come through center. Switch the grip. Step the opposite foot back or cross it. Lean to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale, slice the prayer hands through center. Inhale, halfway lift. Airplane arms. Exhale, hinge and fold. We're going to take a little balance challenge here, bending through the knees, shifting the weight to the right foot. Begin to lift those left feet behind you, a little or a lot. We're going to come into a standing splits here. So that top leg lifts as high as feels good, feeling like you're moving the heel towards the ceiling. You can keep your hands on a prop. You can bring one or both to the ground or to your ankle. You can start to reach your forehead towards your ankle if that's available. Finding your balance that feels good, keeping a bend in that standing leg. Finding patience with this pose. You're doing great. Last breath here. Maybe see if you can lift it just a little bit higher. Exhale, release, bring that foot to meet the other foot on your forward fold. Feel free to take any movement you might need to reset. And then when you're ready, pressing into the hands, halfway lifting, figure 7. Shift your weight to the left foot this time. Extend the right leg behind you. Start to find your splits, half split, or your standing splits. Again, working wherever you're at in your practice of this standing splits position. Lifting the heel of the extended foot a little bit higher. One more breath. Exhale, release, forward fold. Beautiful job. Now from our forward fold, we're going to start to bend our knees deeply, so deeply that our hips come down towards our heels, and we're in a little bit of a toe stand here. You can keep the knees together, or you can bring the knees wide, whatever feels more supported for your toe stand here. And if going this deep does not feel good, there are some options here. You could just not go as deep, or maybe bring something behind you for a little added support on the lower spine. All right, we'll take one last breath. And then we'll start to find our way down onto the floor, bringing ourselves into a seated stack. Send the legs out long, extend the spine up towards the ceiling. Lengthen your breath. And as we really settle in here, maybe start to send the arms up overhead. Maybe grab your strap if you like to use a strap. And as we exhale, we'll hinge the heart towards our toes as we start to find that beautiful forward fold, that extension through the lower back, rounding through the spine. The legs can be straight, or they can have as much of a bend in the knees as feels good. You can even put a blanket here under the knees for added support as you take this forward fold. See if with your next exhale, you can soften into this just a little bit more. And then inhale, roll up to a straight spine. Begin to send your arms out long in that zombie walk kind of way, pointing the fingertips away from you, shoulder distance apart. And then begin to point the toes away from you. Begin to engage your core. And with an exhale, roll down, slow and control, one vertebra at a time.
as much as you can until your shoulders arrive, and then circle the hands up overhead for a full body stretch, walking fingers and toes away from each other. And then with an exhale, let's bring our hands down on either side of our hips and bring a bend into our knees to revisit that constructive rest that we started class with. We'll make sure our heels are tucked in as much towards our hips as feels good. We'll press into our hands and we'll start to peel our hips up off of the mat. Now here we might want to grab a block or a pillow, slide it under our hips. For more intensity, you can walk your shoulders under and take a bind of the hands under the lower back. So there's a few options here. We'll take just a couple of breaths. Getting that nice lower back arch here in a more supported way. If you did take the bind, go ahead and release the hands. If you took the block or a pillow, squeeze the glutes and lift off the prop, taking it out of the way. And then exhale to roll down till the hips touch. We're gonna then start to take a few rolling cobras. So similar to the rolling bridges. So similar to those rolling cobras, we lift and lower with our breath. Feeling the movement and articulation through our spine today. Great job. Last one. Exhale to lower. Go ahead and bring the soles of the feet towards each other, the knees towards each other. And then we're going to take a windshield wiper with the knees together. This might feel just a little different than our wide-legged windshield wiper. We might not be able to go as deep, or we might. Just noticing how that feels. Now, the next time the knees come to the right, go ahead and pause there. Let the right knee stay there. Keep the feet together, but let the left knee come over to the left side, finding yourself in a reclined butterfly position. Go ahead and bring one or both hands to the abdomen. Maybe one hand to the heart if you'd like. Maybe you close your eyes. Simply feeling your breath here, your connection to your body. As we come to the end of our practice, we hold the restorative poses a little longer, having patience with our body. We allow it to open in its own time. Now, you're always welcome to have blocks or pillows or blankets under the knees as well for just a little added support. Beautiful job. Now go ahead and take your right hand down by your right leg and then allow it to bring that right knee over to the left knee. We'll take into pausing in this twist here, and you can take your gaze straight up towards the ceiling or over the opposite shoulder. You could keep the hands on the body or maybe send them out long to a cactus or a T. Our next inhale brings our legs through butterfly, gaze through center. And then take that left hand by the left leg, take it over to the right side. We're gonna hold the twist as we take our gaze maybe towards the ceiling or over towards the opposite side. Big, beautiful breaths. Maybe you even start to get back into that deep listening breath. Taking it for just the last few rounds, cycles of breath, of our movement, whether restorative it is or not. Last breath here. With our exhale, bring the knees through center. Curl up into a ball, bringing both knees in towards the torso. You can keep the head on the ground supported or start to bring the nose towards the knees. You can rock a little left to right or even along the spine. Give your body whatever movement it needs in this moment, fast or slow. And then as we're ready, we'll start to find our way into a final resting pose. We come back to that constructive rest that we started class with. You could come into a legs up the wall variation. You can add any props from blocks to pillows to blankets. You could add sweaters or socks, feeling chilly in your environment, or a blanket. But allow yourself to make any movements and any adjustments so that you can start to come into a place where you can relax on command. And then allow yourself to settle into what stillness looks like in your body. As we feel the gentle support of the earth beneath you. Maybe you close your eyes or soften your gaze. And take a deep breath in, filling your lungs completely. Exhaling slowly, releasing any tension. Beginning to let your body sink deeper into your relaxation. Repeat this intentional breath pattern 2 more times. Each breath inviting in a sense of calm, grounding. Now begin to allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. As you bring your awareness to this present moment, notice the subtle rise and fall of your abdomen and torso. The soft sounds around you, and the temperature of the air on your skin. This is your time to simply be, to rest in the fullness of this moment. Begin to melt into the ground beneath you as you feel it supporting you. Maybe imagining roots growing from your body down into the earth, grounding you there firm. With each breath, feel more connected to the earth, stable and secure. This grounding is the foundation of your patience. Recognizing that just as the earth supports you, patience supports your journey. Now shift your focus
to your breath. And with each inhale, invite in calmness and patience. And with each exhale, let go of any impatience or frustration. Feel the soothing rhythm of your breath, a reminder that patience is a natural part of your being. Each breath is a moment of mindfulness, a pause that allows you to embrace this present moment. Today, as we focus on the practice of patience, patience with ourselves, patience with others, and patience with the situations we find ourselves in. In our fast-paced world, we often feel pressure to act quickly, to rush, to achieve. Yet there is a profound beauty in the act of waiting mindfully, in embracing the stillness and allowing things to unfold in their own time. By turning our attention inward, take a moment to reflect on the moments in your life recently where you have felt impatient with yourself. Perhaps there have been times when you wish to be further along on a journey, frustrated by perceived setbacks or delays. In the space of this meditation, I invite you to release that frustration, to allow yourself to embrace the full journey, understanding that growth often requires time. Patience with ourselves means accepting that it's okay to take things slow, to learn at our own pace, and to be gentle with ourselves when things don't go as planned. When we are patient with ourselves, we cultivate self-compassion. We honor our own timing. We recognize that every step, no matter how big or small, is part of our growth. Now begin to imagine a serene place where you feel completely at peace. This can be a place you've been to before, or maybe it's only here in your mind today. It could be a forest or a beach, or even a quiet room. It doesn't matter, the place is up to you. But in this place, begin to visualize yourself waiting patiently. Maybe even see yourself embracing the present moment without any rush or urgency. Notice how that patience feels in your body and in your mind. Now begin to imagine interactions with others where you respond with patience and understanding. Maybe visualizing a situation where waiting becomes a beautiful act of mindfulness, allowing you to fully experience the moment. Now we'll shift our focus outward. Thinking of times when we've been impatient with others. Perhaps a loved one, a friend, a family member, a colleague, or a stranger at a store. Notice how impatience can create distance, tension, maybe even frustration. But what happens when we allow ourselves to wait? When we offer others the same space to move at their own pace? Patience with others is an act of kindness. It's a way of saying, I see you, and I respect your journey. It's an invitation to connect with the present moment, to listen fully, and to respond with understanding rather than urgency. When we are patient with others, we create space for deeper connection and mutual respect. Waiting, when done mindfully, is not a passive act. It's a powerful practice, patience. Waiting allows us to be fully here and to experience the richness of a moment without rushing towards the next thing. It's an opportunity to observe, to breathe, and to trust that everything will unfold as it should. We'll take this last moment to imagine ourselves in a situation where we might feel impatient, perhaps waiting in a line or for an important event. And instead of feeling restless, can you bring your awareness to your breath, to the sensations of your body, noticing the world around you, the colors, the sounds, maybe even subtle movements. This is the beauty of waiting mindfully. It's a chance to immerse yourself in that present moment and to find peace in the pause. We'll take the deepest breath of our day so far, allowing a feeling of calmness or patience that you have cultivated to bubble within. And when you are ready, gently open your eyes. Take a moment to notice how you feel. And maybe carry the sense of patience with you as you move into your week, appreciating the beauty of each moment. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time.